Hi, Muriel. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Tony. Hi, Zara. Yay, I have Juwan in the house. There you go. Let's get this party started, guys. Thank you for joining. Hello, Simon. Thank you for being on time. Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Happy
hello.
morning.
No, no. Yeah.
Hello.
Morning.
Can you please comment below, everyone? Just let us know where you're calling from. Thank you so much for being patient. Hello, Jivar from Malaysia. Thank you. The music on the background is responsibility. It said, I'm responsible. Okay. Is everybody as happy as I am today? Hello, David. Let us know where you're calling from. Thank you. Hello, Dr. Branch. Good morning. Morning, Zara from Florida. Morning, Mariel from Canada. Thank you so much for calling. Northwest Indiana in the house. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. You are in the right place at the right time. I really have to apologize that we came in a little late this morning, but thank you for your patience. Thank you. So, this is Civilized Presence. I'm just going to put my music on a hold now so we can get things started as we are a little bit late. I hope that you can see me. Woohoo! That was some little lights there. Guys, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate you. Welcome to the Civilized Presence fifth session number 5. I am so excited to have you here this morning. There's a little bit of noise from you, Dr. Simon.
Is that
A little
fine?
bit of noise. Yes, it's a lot better.
Is
Thank
it
you so
gone?
much, Cynthia from Canada.
Oh,
Yes, it is gone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, welcome. This is session number 5. Thank you so much, guys. This is a civilized presence. I am so happy to be here with all of you. We are here every Mondays and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But unfortunately, today we had to be here 2 hours late. We'll explain why. But you are lucky to be here on the call. We have Dr. Simon Karu, all the way from Nigeria. Oh my goodness. We have a lot of noise. A lot of noise, Dr. Karu. Can you bring it down,
I'm not. I'm
please?
not. Yeah, I'm not sure it's here. There's no noise
Okay,
anymore
that's
here.
fine. It's just fine now. I'm just, yes, a little bit now. Okay. It's kind of difficult. Can you hear us? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, Dr. Simon is trying to figure things out there. So, as I said, this is a Facebook
Yes, I
Live
can.
series, and we have Dr. Simon Caro from Nigeria trying to get things working right there in Abuja. We are excited to have you. I'm not sure why there's so much noise, but it looks like we're going to have a great time. So, if you have never met me before, my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I'm so happy to meet you. I am a master civility trainer and a golden rule statement and a leadership expert. Thank you so much for being here today. We have a lot of noise, but sit calm and be quiet and just have some patience and we will get this party started. I'm not sure why there's so much noise, but he has the right message for you at the right time. You are here today because you have an interest in this topic, and I believe that you have people in your network who will find this beneficial. Can you please just like our videos or love us? Show us some hearts. I can see some hearts coming up. We want the hearts. Facebook wants the hearts because they can really do something great with the videos when we have the hearts. And please share it on your page or on your Facebook group. The main goal for this Facebook series really is to restore civility through meaningful conversations. Ooh, it's a lot of noise this morning, guys. It's still so much noise, Dr. Karu. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, apart from the lights going on, or do you feel the noises from my background?
I'm thinking so, but I'm not too sure. Thank you so much, Adams and Dowder. Thank you for calling in. But we'll just get things going. So, guys, this is the month of May. It's a Global Civility Awareness Month. And we have been on a 31 days challenge, civility challenge. Have you been part of this challenge? I hope so. But if you haven't, it's not too late to join us. Um, like we talked about this every single week, or for those of you who are just joining for the very first time, I'll be introducing our guest shortly. But this Facebook series really is focused on breaking down civility into tiny little parts, bringing it back home. Yes, thank you, Dr. Branch. Dr. Simon is a true man of civility. Absolutely, that's correct. We're just trying to get the noise down so that we can learn from him this morning. And so, if you're unable to be here on the live session, you can still catch a replay later on by joining us on our business Facebook page, it's So Unique Experts, or on our Instagram page, So Unique Experts. And if you want to learn more about what we do, you can visit our website. It's www.civilityacademy.com. So, guys, I really have to I apologize that we have so much noise, but you know what? I had to bring the guest all the way from Africa, so it's going to be worth it. Just stay tuned. So, the topic of today is civility and responsibility. And before we get started, I'm just going to introduce to you Dr. Simon Karu. Like Dr. Branch had rightly said, he's a true man of civility. Yes, he is. He's doing so much work to help the children in the country of Nigeria. He's doing a lot of work with the YMCA. So you don't want to miss this session. Even though there's so much noise, hang on tight. Dr. Caro is also a leadership coach and trainer with the John Maxwell team. He is a Golden Rule civility statesman, and he is also a political aspirant in Nigeria. So just before the internet gets upset with us and shut things down, we're just going to go right in. Hi, Dr. Caro, can you hear me? Hello,
Yeah,
Dr.
I can hear
Caro.
you, Louisa. Yes, I can
Perfect.
hear you.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
being here. I'm so sorry about the noise. I'm
yeah.
not sure if it's from my end or from your end, but we'll just get things going.
Probably from
So,
my
guys,
end. Yeah,
okay, so we'll just share the definition of civility, guys. Civility is about people's treatment, but I'm going to share with you today a special definition from the Civility Experts International, and that is civility is a conscious awareness of the impact of one's thoughts, actions, words, and intentions on others. And that is combined with a continuous acknowledgement of one's responsibility to ease the experience of others. And you can do this through restraint, kindness, non judgment, respect, and courtesy, and a consistent effort to adopt and exhibit civil behavior as a non negotiable point of one's character. Now, through this definition, you can see that it is important for you to be responsible in order for you to be civil. You cannot be civil if you're not responsible. You have to get used to
yeah,
being responsible to continuously ease the experience of others around you. You must be
yeah,
responsible to pay attention to other people. You must be responsible to
yeah,
apologize earnestly And you have to be responsible to
Yeah.
refrain from idle complaints. Sometimes we have huge
Yeah.
problems accepting and giving constructive criticism. It is your responsibility to accept it with grace. So we're just going to
Yeah.
go straight to the questions for the day and work with Dr. Karu now that it seems like the noise has gone off now. So, Dr. Karu, how can civility be integrated into public offices in Africa, considering that you're a political aspirant? And what rudimentary steps do we need to take to ensure that civility footprint is firmly planted in the continent of Africa?
Well, I think if we look at civility from the place of work directly, we will be missing a vital link that actually makes us who we are. First, I think we have to look at civility from the context of its value, and it has to be a culture imbibed in individuals. So we can't be civil in the office and then we're something else at home. So we have to imbibe the culture of civility right from the persons that we are, and then we can be able to translate it in whatever that we do. We all live in an ecosystem, and so long as we break the frequency of civility anywhere, it affects us in another dimension. So it takes a longer period when there's a disconnect in civility for us to be able to appreciate it. Everybody wants to be treated well, and therefore, what I see is not looking at it from the point of uh, places of work, but how do we imbibe it as a value, and how do we embody it and become a reflection and an appearance of civility. So I think it's a culture that we need to build with ourselves because we carry it anywhere. We are not different in our places of work and different at home.
Great, thank you so much. It looks like the noise was just waiting for you
Yeah.
to get start talking, and then the noise is off now. So I'm excited. Yeah. So we'll just go straight on to the second question for the day. You have explained that we have to be able to embody civility as a way of life. And I really do agree with that. It is our responsibility to make sure that in our everyday dealings and relationships with people, that we ease the experience that they have. I'm so sorry. A lot of people are commenting on the video. I might not be able to see your comments right now. We don't have the best reception today, but we're just going to get things going. So the second question for you is: civility is about disagreeing without disrespect, seeking common ground as a starting point for dialogue about differences. Now, from an African point of view, or could I say Nigerian perspective, how would civility be firmly established, bearing in mind the differences in the ethnic tribes in Nigeria, the religion, and the wide disparity between the upper and lower class in Nigeria?
Well, Louisa, thank you very much for that question. While reflecting over when I was preparing to actually step up for the live call, I had imagined that, and a thought came up, and it said, "What if she didn't ask a question about that? Would you just bump into it and begin to talk about it?" Yes, this is something that is quite sensitive in Nigeria because we come from different small ethnic groups and different tribal enclaves and different social dividers and separates us from the people we are as a country. But I think the first question we need to ask ourselves is, if, for example, you belong to the dominant cultural group and someone else belongs to a minority group, and the first question you should ask yourself is, what if I am the one that belongs to the minority group? Would I be happy if I'm treated the way I am actually treating someone else? Because civility is about people treatment. It's about treating people the way we also want to be treated. It's a golden rule. We need to feel the pulse of other people. We need to feel what they feel. So I think in Nigeria, people need to begin to reason from the way we would love to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
How do we want to feel when we appear before people or when we mix up as Nigerians? If we want to be treated well, then we should also treat other people well. So I think it has to get back to the unit of the social environment, which is the family, and begin to imbibe this culture among the little and the younger generations that are coming up. We may have built over time the cultural attitude, the values that we actually move on with, but no one is born with hate. We learn it. So, likewise, love. We can choose to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So I think in Nigeria, what we need more is not tolerance, rather it is love. Love in the context. Love. I understand that people view love from different perspectives, but the simplest way I would want to put it is, regardless of whether the Yoruba man loves you, or the Hausa man loves you, or the Fulani man loves you or not, what is important is you should give love. Love is not traded as a give and take. Love needs to be given unconditionally. If it comes back to you, then it's a plus. But in most cases, we choose to love those who love us. And that's why we fail in building a harmonious society. So I think we need to understand love from what it is. Love is given. When you give it out, you shouldn't even expect in return. Because that's love in itself is love for yourself. Because when you love unconditionally and give it, within it is a satisfaction that you actually have. So I think Nigerians need to begin to understand the definition and the culture of love such that we give love and not expect it in return. Because in love, we find even love for ourselves.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kari. It's great and interesting that you mentioned that we should not expect it to be given back. So that shows that we have to be responsible to give love to the other person. It doesn't matter whether we get it back or not. Last week, we had a chance to teach and talk about civility and respect with our master trainer from London, UK, Buki Odushote, and she did a good job in speaking to us about respect and how it is important for us to give respect because the other person is human. You don't have to do it because you're expecting to get this back. Now, with civility and responsibility, and knowing about Nigeria and all of what's happening in the political arena, I'm very excited to have you here today because I'm Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian. That's my roots, and you are. So it's a good chance to learn about what's happening in the country and how we can do a lot of work in terms of civility. Now, there is so much negative publicity that is going around amongst some of the holders of the public offices, of course, because of unacceptable behavior, not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world. How useful would you think that how useful will civility be in helping to curb this? Can you explain to us or kind of give us a few tips that can be helpful, especially being a political aspirant? I'm not trying to pick on you there, but you're the right person that we should learn from. So, how can civility be a fundamental tool, a useful tool in helping to curb this unacceptable behavior? Dr. Simon?
Well, like I said earlier, that it's something we need to build right from our homes, right from the smallest unit of the social cycle. However, I think the approach about the concept of civility, particularly in the civil service, uh, I find a huge gap because
Mm-hmm.
most trainings, executive trainings, civility trainings, leadership trainings, for people in the civil service is hardly conceptualized from the entry point in civil service. Mostly it begins at level 10, level 12, when people are about to retire. And so they are trained, they are given all the values, and in a short time, they leave service. Those who stay long in service don't enjoy such training. Therefore, we lose out that culture that is supposed to be built over time in the civil service. So what I think is Nigeria needs to look at it the other way around. If you're employing someone to spend 35 years of service, you need to begin to train the person from day one. Not after 20 years of service when he has grown through the ranks and he's about retiring, then you begin to prepare him for leadership. I think we need to begin to train would-be CEOs, would-be permanent secretaries, would-be director generals, and not director generals. So such trainings, such values needs to be integrated into the civil service properly, such that within the time frame that someone gives his service and his fruitful years to the government of Nigeria, he's able to exhibit quite more. He's able to develop additional skills. He's able to develop further concepts and initiatives that could add value to the Nigerian civil service. So I think, as an aspiring politician, one of those reforms Nigeria needs to look at is looking at the concept of capacity building and building certain values in the civil service right from the entry point.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go back to the comments. We have had a lot of people give comments. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have Dr. Rivers in the house. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm so happy to have you here. Yes, and we have some comments down below talking about that we need a culture of love in Africa. I agree with you. Yes, and that is from Morel. Morel, that is very important. Morel is from Montreal, Canada. We have Kennedy Edward talking about representing in the next elections. Thank you so much, Kennedy, for your comments. So we'll just go to the final question for the day. Now, leaders are responsible for setting the tone of civility or incivility. Now, our focus really is to get leaders to begin to see civility as a new leadership style. Hopefully, that's what we're aiming for. So, as an aspiring public officer, what are the steps that you think you will take or begin to take, or you would advise others to take to set the tone for civility in our different countries? Over to you, Dr. Simon.
Yeah, well, I like that question. And, everything rises and falls on leadership. A popular quote by John Maxwell. I love it. I try as much as possible to embody it. But I think one of the gaps that I realized in terms of leadership in my country is that my people are looking for a hero, and heroes do not exist. It's the narrative of heroism that exists. If you find yourself within the narrative, you are the hero. But no one is born a hero. We walk within the path of leadership. So what I understand is that we need to begin to set the narrative right early. We need to begin to identify more young people, prepare them such that they walk within the paths of leadership. Most political in Nigeria are accidental leaders. They find themselves in leadership. There was no preps, no preparation, no vision. I think we need to have more leaders. When you and another wrong concept that I feel, I'm sorry to put the word wrong, is the fact that people see leaders as a distant set of people who are either in the medical cycle, in the political cycle, or in the military, or in the army. Meanwhile, Leaders are everywhere. We need leadership everywhere. Even within the followers, we need leaders because everybody champions a particular cause. We all work in different facets and contribute to the whole. We don't work in isolation. We are interconnected. So we need people to understand the narrative of leadership wherever we are. So for me, what I intend to do is to create more platforms to build capacity of young people to assume those spaces. What I see right now in the entire Nigerian environment, I see empty spots, empty spaces everywhere. I see empty spaces. I see empty spaces in entertainment. I see empty spaces in politics. I see empty spaces in academia because we seem to model a different kind of hero. And people gifted in different areas of life would want to abandon them for what they think is greener. Meanwhile, the grass is green where you are. So I think what we need to do is to diversify capacity building and integrate it into our daily lives and make it such that we bring out people's identity and strengthen their identities and purpose. That sets us on the narrative of becoming heroes.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Simon Karu. You have dropped some hot wisdom nuggets this morning. Thank you. I really appreciate you for being here. I'm going to take a moment to acknowledge people who are on the line. We have Brentley. Woohoo! We have Coco from the US. We have IZ Ehi from Canada. Thank you so much for joining. Um, we have Bonsi from Montreal, Canada. It looks like you're pretty popular in Canada. We have Oyemi Owoye from London, UK. Thank you so much. We have Danture. I'm not sure where you're calling from. We really do appreciate you. We have Alex Joshua. Please leave a comment below. Let us know where you're calling in from. It is so important that we know where you're calling in from. But thank you so much. If there's something that you want to go back with today, is that everything rises and falls on leadership. The second thing is we have to have a continuous acknowledgement that it is our responsibility to ease the experience of other people. It's not the responsibility of the person next to you. It's not the responsibility of your mom, of your boss. It is your responsibility. So go out today. Hello, Valeria, calling from Miami. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so good to have you here. So step out today and have it at the back of your mind that you have a responsibility every single day to ease the experience of the next person, to show kindness to the next person, to be polite. When you are in a spot to do so, apologize earnestly. Refrain from idle complaints. And when we're talking about leadership, do not try to stumble into leadership. Our different governments should invest more in educating and grooming the right leaders. And we have Dr. Kari here who would be ready to put you through. So, Dr. Kari, we're right on the hour. It's 10 a.m., it's 30 minutes down the line. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you for being here. I'm so sorry about the noise. I'm not sure where the noise is coming from, but we will bring you again. And just before you run away, can you tell us a little bit about the program you're running for the young people in Nigeria? Because I know so much about the young people and what you're doing with the YMCA and with the NGO and with the government. Can you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yeah, well, I love a quote from one of Nigeria's political leaders of blessed memory, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who once said that you should not criticize when you do not have a solution. I am not criticizing the concept of Nigeria's leadership without a solution. I have imagined the next 15, the next 20 years, and I'm beginning to set the records how I desire the Nigerian political system or the Nigerian political leadership should look like. And that's the reason why in Lead Thoughts, we began 4 years ago preparing young politicians in the various institutions. So we select a handful of student leaders in their universities and polytechnics and colleges of education and groom them through a 1-year period that prepares them for future political engagements. This sets their records, they begin to build political ideology, set their goals, and then begin to engage themselves in leadership trainings that prepares them for future leadership. This is what I look at this as a solution to Nigeria's political challenges. So I would like that whoever wants to look at Nigeria's political concepts shouldn't just stop at criticizing it. Chief Fami Awolowo's spirit will not forgive you if you do not have a solution and you're criticizing Nigeria's political environment. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And do you have information about the program online? Is there a place that people can have access to? Because we have a lot of people online, and I'm sure that they would be interested to read more about this and be part of this movement that you have.
Yeah. You could check Lead Thoughts on Facebook. I've just typed Lead Thoughts right in there, and see to the Lead Thoughts website. So right on Facebook, just click. It takes you to the Lead Thoughts page. You will see the number of students and various activities Lead Thoughts is actually running. And from there, you could also link up to the Lead Thoughts website and see much more. In fact, there are quite a lot of other programs that are being initiated. They are in the pipeline. We want a robust leadership development for Nigeria.
Thank you. Just before we round this up, I have Dr. Gladys on the line. And we have Dr. Margaret. I appreciate you all for making out time to be here. We have Parisel calling in from London, UK. Thank you. Bolaticho Williams. I'm not sure where you're calling in from, but we really do appreciate you. Guys, I'm so sorry that we have to go now. It's the top of the hour. We have to leave now. But be sure to meet us here on Monday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we will have another expert in the house that will be educating us on civility. So right now, I'm going to say thank you so much, Dr. Karu, and bye for now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.